Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and in this video I'm going to show you a few things to see around the city of Huntsville, Texas, which is directly north of Houston. And I'm starting off here at the statue of Sam Houston, which is the world's largest statue of this type depicting a person. And that noise you hear behind me, or actually in front of me, is the interstate highway that goes to Houston. So it's right beside the highway. When you drive by on the interstate, you can't miss it, and it does look huge. So let me show you the statue, and then I'm going to show you a few other things around town, and mostly related to Sam Houston. Here is a plaque with some information about him. And there is the statue. You can just barely see his head from this point. Sam Houston was 6'7" tall, and this statue is 67 feet tall. So it's like 10 times his normal height. And then there's a 10-foot platform here. Now I'm going to go out to the highway here as far as the grass goes there, so that I can give you a wider view of it. How's this? Let me zoom in and pan up. Zoom in on his head. He was, as you can imagine, one of maybe the most important person in the history of Texas. This is behind the statue. It was created by David Dickies. And by the way, when I was in Houston a couple years ago, I went to David Dickies' place, and he specializes in making huge outdoor statues of politicians or celebrities. And on his property there is a huge number of heads, mostly of presidents. And those are heads on the same scale as this. There is a visitor center here, so I'm going to walk back to there now. They have a really large visitor center building, although there's not much to see in it. This is a conference hall that can be rented out or for large groups where they show videos about Sam Houston, I guess. Well, now I'm off to the Sam Houston Museum. Now I'm going to go to the Sam Houston Memorial Museum here, and out back behind the museum is Sam Houston's original home and other buildings that he had. So after I go to the museum, I'll show you those. This is a map of the state of Texas in 1849, and it originally went way up north to that little panhandle up there. Texas does have some pretty amazing history. This is a vest made of jaguar that the Indians gave as a gift to Sam Houston. And there is a picture of him wearing it. There's a lot of reading to be done in this part of the museum. And there's his memorial. This is from when Texas had its own currency. $100 bill for the Republic of Texas. And they had a 500. Here's something I've never heard of. You know what that is?
No, it looks weird.
Well, here's something I surely forgotten from my days in high school. This is kind of funny. See this kid about to pull on his ponytail? This is Sam Houston joined the War of 1812 when he was 20 years old. Here's a statue of him at that age. And this was one of his bad times. He had an Indian wife, and he reported to the federal government on Indian affairs around here. But it's not just reading. They have a collection of various artifacts under this glass case. Here's some more of them. I got a cannon and a battlefield scene here with these life-size figures. They also have a collection of artifacts from Santa Ana, if you remember that from your history class. When Texas gained independence over Mexico, Sam Houston became the first president of the Republic of Texas, and the annexation of Texas to the United States Union was a long-fought battle, political battle. Here's a model of a nuclear submarine that they named the Sam Houston. And this tells a little about it here. And they also have in this case a diorama of the assault on the Alamo. All those little guys there climbing up, the Mexicans climbing up on the walls, attacking the Alamo. Nice. And there's the main Alamo building. Now let's go outside and see what they have out here. They told me that these are all original buildings and the original locations. A simple log cabin, and next to that is this larger cabin. Yeah, locked doors. Those doors. This has got glass over it so you can see inside. And out back is a little creek going through the area. Oh, look at these baby ducks. See those little yellow baby ducks? And here's a hunting lodge that actually has stairs that you can go up. It just goes up to a platform between the two rooms. There are some things inside, but it's too dark in there to see much. And over here it looks like we have some stables or barn. So everything here was built around these original buildings. Nothing was moved. Now this one doesn't have any glass on it. And there is some lighting in here. We can take a quick look around at all this original equipment. Amazing that it's lasted all these years. The big bellows there. This building was turned into a gift shop. And over here are some white painted buildings. I think I got this guy mesmerized. underneath this tree that's, look, it's leaning way to the right. This guy's afraid to move. There he goes. All these buildings from over 100 years ago had these breezeways in between to get some cool air flowing. Well, you can't go in. They have glass over it. You can kind of see in. Much more modern facilities.
And Margaret Houston's woodland home, built in 1847. Although part of an expanded museum complex, it stands on the original site. From the time Sam Houston entered Texas until his death, he occupied 11 different houses. Apart from the summer cottage at Cedar Point, the woodland home was the only one to which he developed great attachment.
Well, if she's talking, I'm going to go up here and see what's up in the platform. Well, let's get you to the upstairs. So the stairs are outside instead of inside. It's just 2 bedrooms up here. Oh, that glass. Yeah, this is Houston's home. And behind his home there is some more smaller buildings and a garden. Not much growing now. That's a shed. I'm wondering where the outhouse is. Do not see one here. That says the New Army of the Republic of Texas. Interesting buildings they got back here. And there's the creek. Gotta get this guy fattened up for dinner. Looks like something sprung a leak there. A lot of birds around here. There's a fountain in the middle. Not much to it, but it's putting out a little water apparently. Well, it looks like a creek to me, but this says it's a river. Not much of a river. It's like 5 feet wide or less. And next to Sam Houston's home is his law office. How about that? Got a chair up on the wall. Well, folks, how do you like this for a memorial? Wow, that is quite elaborate. Here's the historical marker next to it if you want to read about him. This is where the memorial is. There's a close-up of the head on his horse, and he's got an angel to his right here, and another lady here, not sure who or what that is. Wow, that is quite a memorial. And here's a couple more info plaques that you can read if you like. There's this shopping center on one of the main streets through town. Has a really large parking lot, easy for RV parking. And I stopped here for lunch at this McKenzies BBQ. And I have barbecue at a lot of restaurants on the road, and about half the time I'm disappointed in the place. This place is just excellent in many ways. So I definitely recommend you stop by there to have a meal when you're coming through Huntsville. And lastly, I wanted to tell you about this place. I did a complete video of the museum about a year and a half ago, and it has become one of the most popular videos on my YouTube channel, even though it was demonetized by YouTube. So with all those views, I haven't earned a single penny on it, and I think that's because YouTube has a big problem with this word right here in the middle. So I dare not say the full name of this place now. It's a small but very interesting museum. Has a lot of really amazing artifacts, and they play a video all about the museum and, well, mostly about the facility that the museum is dedicated to. This is one of the watchtowers, and out here they have a couple gates from the TP rodeo that they used to do and just don't do anymore, which I think they quit doing the rodeo because they quit getting the type of residents that were rodeo qualified. So if you're anywhere near Huntsville, I definitely recommend you come here to see this museum, and I'll put a link in the description below to the museum video that I did when I was here before. Good day, folks.